Teda Šárko, takhle jsem o nelineárních zážitcích v sérii Arma ještě nepřemýšlel.
Tento stream je sice striktně lineární, ale i přesto věříme, že už jste si z něj spoustu zážitků odnesli a ještě odnesete.
A to i díky našim partnerům. Games.cz, těm děkujeme za to, že nás pustili sem do studia, respektive díky Šárko. No a ostatním za to, že prostě jsou, konkrétně časopisu Level, webu GoTo Brno, univerzitní televizi Studex a archivu československých her a vývojářů Vision Game. No a děkujeme taky Petrovi Uhlířovi, protože ten sedí za tím ovládáním toho streamu a je to prostě král.
Teď už je ale před námi dvojblok autorských hraní. Následující hodinu strávíme nejdřív s kreativním šéfem Ministry of Broadcast Dušanem Češkem, který vás vezme do fascinující reality show pořádané vládnoucím Orwellovským režimem. No a v druhém bloku se pak opět přihlásí náš komandér Kuba Špiřík, který si bude povídat o chystané adventuře 1428 Shadow over Silesia s jejím autorem Petrem Kubíčkem.
Hi, I'm Dušan and I'm creative director of Ministry of Broadcast. And today I'm going to try to answer some questions and we're going to watch some gameplay videos. So enjoy! At the beginning, we were two studios, Twin Peaks and Fuchstags. Pete's basically approached me and my wife Sanya in Fuchstag studio. The more we talked about the game, the more we talked about movies, world, other game titles, the game we grew up on, we realized that we have really a lot of things in common, and that's when we decided to create Ministry of Broadcast Studio, which will basically produce Ministry of Broadcast the game as our first title. Since then, we spent 2 years in development, searching for finance together, having negotiations with different publishers and stuff. So at the beginning of this year, our baby was released. So Ministry of Broadcast was released in January this year, and we are really happy with it. When we all sat together, we discussed about the things that we love and we grew up on. We all enjoyed Monty Python, we all enjoyed Monkey Island, Flashback, Oddworld, Prince of Persia. So we decided to blend all this together into a certain title that will represent us as a team. Of course, strong narrative is part of all the titles that I have mentioned, so that was like must for us. And we sat together and decided that it's gonna be a blend of like platformer, pixel art, and narrative. And since we have a lot of things to say, even about politics, about the world that we live in, we wanted to create it as some sort of critique or to make a certain statement about the regimes. And we were thinking about how cool it would sound and be like to combine East and West and capitalist regimes versus socialistic regimes. And that's where the idea of reality show, which like as a peak of capitalism and broadcasting in combination with absolutistic regime and something that it's basically implemented into the structure of the country itself. Sounds interesting, and that's where Ministry of Broadcast came from. Our main inspirations are old games that we grew up on, like Flashback, Prince of Persia, Oddworld, Monkey Island, and Indiana Jones adventures and stuff. We try to basically implement all the inspirations as an Easter eggs throughout the game of Ministry of Broadcast, and we wanted to create unique story. We wanted to test if it's possible to feel emotions with and go through emotional journey with pixelated characters. Game design came from literally exploring the idea of people need to survive and using other contestants to reach their goals. And that's where it kind of the basic idea came from, to use other contestants as bridges, as basically tools for you to reach your own goal. And everyone has the same goal. Everyone wants some kind of freedom. Everyone wants to win and live their own lives, to escape the regime. Of course, this escape is only something they really dream about and never reach it. We hope that this game stands out from other 2D platformers. Actually, we wanted, like I already mentioned, we wanted to include really strong narrative, which is not always present in the platformer games. We wanted to include different mechanics, different approaches to game design and puzzle designs. For example, our character is not Super Mario. He doesn't jump 2 meters. He's not almost flying. He's a real man made out of flesh, and his jumps are short. When he drops from a certain height, he dies. So we wanted to give you like a feeling that you're controlling the real character. Even the character style and animation styles and control styles of Prince of Persia were kind of really cool for us to explore, because it gave us opportunity to give you not so responsive character, that you to make a small distance in between you and the character you're playing, because in this case you are Big Brother and he's one of the contestants, and we wanted to for you to have this feeling of controlling the real character and controlling his life and controlling his movements. So for example, our character is self-aware. If you push him to drop from the cliff, he would stop himself. Of course, if you keep pushing, he will jump and die. But all those small details that we wanted to include are part of the storytelling and the narrative and game design. When we were designing the main character, we didn't want to give him any power over his destiny or his performance in the show. And that's why he doesn't have any weapons, and he's even barefoot. We wanted to show him, show his weakness, and how from his weakness actually he managed to harvest his need of survival. Because he doesn't have any shoes, and which were stolen the first night in the camp. It felt like it's a great collectible throughout the game, like a small side quest for him to still try to find some shoes, to search for a little bit of hope that he's not gonna freeze in this environment he is in. This is actually part of the character design. We knew that in order to tell the whole story, we needed to have some inner dialogue or like monologue parts, and it didn't quite feel right to have like pixelated character standing in the room talking to himself. So we dig deeper into story structure, and we realized Sanya mentioned actually a really good example from Bram Stoker's Dracula, that captives there are because they are alone and they're in captivity, creating these bonds with animals, and that's basically where we came up with the crow character. A crow character is not your sidekick, is not a storyteller. It's basically your inner thought. It's everything that main character is not. Crow is free, it can fly, she doesn't care about any other opinions, she doesn't care about the ratings, she's just having like strict rules of everything that she wants to be, in opposition to our character, who is kind of molded by the system, and he's not free, he tries to escape. So basically he projects his inner feelings towards himself through a bird. So sometimes this bird is helping you, sometimes is against you. like it's like your personality, like every human being is like helping himself or destroying himself in certain times and a certain situation. That's why we wanted to have this unique character, which is basically just part of your soul, everything that you want to be and you're not. Well, to be honest, because we had two publishers, publishers were handling the relationship with Nintendo directly. What we had experience with, at the beginning, the game maker didn't have actually good support for Nintendo Switch, but during our development time, they released a new patch which basically provides us with all the tools necessary to convert the game and port it to Nintendo Switch. The only issue we had at the beginning was shaders. So basically, all the water levels and everything, they're just gone. They were just gone, but we managed to solve it in a week or two. So we didn't have a lot of issues with porting. The thing that we experienced is that you need to build much earlier before the release. Basically, we were stuck with the first day patch. Because we sent the first build before even the QA process started with the final game. And that's the only downside of having small team and need to follow exact rules how Nintendo is setting. It was kind of hard and not at the same time to sign the contract. We had to, we were revisiting the pitch deck. Each time we were contacted by some other publisher and they would comment on something that they didn't love. So basically each opportunity that during negotiations we had to talk actually to any of the publishers, we used to learn something from it, and that's how we basically start evolving our pitch deck, thinking about the presentation, how what is enough of a demo, what is enough of a proof of concept. We invested our time and some of the money to visit the conferences. I think that we met HitSense at Indicate in LA, and Blazon we met at Tokyo Game Show. Person-to-person meetings were really important to us, to see their faces, to see what they're reacting on, what they're not reacting on. And we always refer to finding a publisher like Tinder. While they were judging us, we were judging them as well, because we really wanted to have a partner rather than a publisher. We both had to swipe right in order to have the cooperation kicks off. It's really important that you put all the important things about your project into the presentation and pack it as you would like to have a game. If the publisher doesn't like it, it's not a publisher for you. If you want to have independent project that you really care about and you want to have it on your own terms and in your own way, it's something that you need to work for and you need to wait the right publisher for. We have a lot of sequel ideas, of course. We were spending 2 years just talking about Ministry of Broadcast, so of course there are many ideas that didn't make a cut. We were talking about what sequel is, but we don't have any exact plans about whether we're gonna do a sequel or not. We're gonna see. For now, we want to rest and leave Ministry of Broadcast a little bit to focus on other projects and new projects, new titles. We want to explore different styles. We didn't want to be stuck with pixel art. We didn't want to be stuck with the same narrative. We want to see and explore our opportunities. At the moment, we are working on two really nice new projects. And we cannot talk a lot about them, but soon we will reveal something. I would really like to thank everyone who supported this project during the development phase and after the release. It was a pleasure to watch online streaming of the game, observing all people dying on similar spots, to see how people can break the game, to see how people are experiencing certain narrative parts, are they loving or hating. So thanks a lot for the support. And we hope that you're gonna stick around and you're gonna enjoy the next project from our